The average senior homeowner in this country paid $4,271 in property taxes last year. For 92% of them, that amount was higher than it legally needed to be, not because they made an error, but because there is a specific form that can reduce that bill. And for most older homeowners in this country, no one has ever told them that this form even exists. The AP Foundation confirmed it. 9.3 million seniors qualify for a property tax reduction they are legally entitled to receive. Only 8% of them have ever submitted an application. The remaining 92% continue overpaying year after year. And there is no system in place from the government to inform them otherwise. But here is the part you need to stay for. Even the seniors who manage to find this form and submit it, a large number of them still get denied, not because they are ineligible, but because of one particular section on the application that almost no one knows how to complete correctly. The county does not send those applications back for correction. They deny them, close them, and the opportunity is lost for another full year. I am going to show you exactly which section that is. But first, let me show you how much money we are really talking about. Here is what this video covers: the name of the form and how it works, the dollar amounts, and they range from $30 to $6,500 per year depending on your state, why 92% of eligible seniors have never applied for it, the exact mistake that causes most applications to be denied before they are even reviewed, and the retroactive opportunity, because in several states, if you qualified for this exemption in earlier years and never knew, you can go back and claim it. That last part is what most people never expect. We will get there. Take a woman named Carol. She is 68 years old. She worked for 26 years as a public school teacher in Illinois. She bought her home outside Springfield in 2001 for $162,000. By 2024, that home was assessed at $310,000. Her yearly property tax bill was $7,400. Carol paid that amount every single year for more than 2 decades on time without complaint. In 2024, a neighbor mentioned the senior assessment freeze. Carol had never heard of it before. She went to the county assessor's website and found out she had been eligible since 2021. 3 years of overpayment, 3 years. The county never informed her. Carol is not an exception. Carol represents the typical situation. The AP Foundation runs an entire program specifically because what happened to Carol is happening to millions of people right now, and we have not even reached the rejection trap yet. The part that impacts the people who actually find the form. The form is called the Senior Homestead Exemption. Some states refer to it as the Senior Property Tax Exemption. Illinois calls it the Senior Citizens Homestead Exemption. The name changes depending on the state. The system works the same everywhere. Here is how it works. Your county calculates your property tax based on your home's assessed value. The exemption lowers that assessed value before the tax is calculated. If your home is assessed at $300,000 and your state exempts $50,000 for seniors, you are only taxed on $250,000. That reduction applies every year as long as you own the home and remain eligible. Some states offer something even more powerful. It is called the Senior Assessment Freeze. Instead of lowering the assessed value, it locks it permanently. The moment you apply, your home's taxable value is frozen at that level. No matter what happens in the market, your neighbor's tax bill increases every year as home values rise. Yours does not. Carol qualified for both. She did not know either one existed. Here is what the actual savings look like across the country. In New Jersey, the maximum savings under the Senior Freeze program is $6,500 per year. In Texas, homeowners aged 65 and older receive an additional $60,000 exemption, saving eligible seniors around $938 per year in school district taxes alone. In New York, legislation signed in 2026 now allows local areas to exempt up to 65% of your home's assessed value. That is new this year. In Illinois, The senior assessment freeze locks your assessed value permanently the moment you apply. Calculate that over 10 years. A senior in New Jersey who submits this form today and stays in their home for a decade keeps $65,000 that would have gone toward taxes. In Texas, nearly $10,000. In Illinois, with property values rising the way they have, the savings grow every year the freeze remains in place. And here's the detail that almost no one knows. Those numbers assume you applied this year. In some states, if you qualified in earlier years and never knew about this form, you can apply retroactively. In Texas, up to 2 prior tax years. In Illinois, up to 3. For Carol, that meant 3 years of overpayment she could attempt to recover. We are still not at the worst part of the story. This exemption is not new. The Senior Citizens Homestead Exemption in Illinois has existed since 1994, 32 years. In those 32 years, the state has never sent a single letter to a qualifying senior homeowner informing them it exists. Not one. Here is the issue. Property tax exemptions in this country are not automatic. There is no system tracking when you turn 65 and updating your property record. No letter arrives. No notification is sent. The county assessor manages the program. They do not advertise it. The responsibility of finding it, applying for it, and meeting the deadline falls entirely on you. The AAP Foundation created a volunteer program specifically because this gap is so large. In the last 5 years, that program helped Americans recover nearly $10 million in property tax relief. $10 million from a single volunteer initiative. That number shows exactly how many people are being overlooked every year. Here is where it gets worse. Even when seniors discover this exemption, many still lose it. Not because they are ineligible, but because of deadlines that are never announced. No letter, no reminder, no warning. Florida closes the additional senior exemption on March 1st. New York City closes theirs on March 15th. Texas closes April 30th. Colorado runs as late as July 15th. These dates are not printed on your tax bill. They are not mailed to your home. If you do not already know to search for them, the window closes quietly and you wait another full year. But the deadline is actually the second biggest reason people lose this benefit. The main reason is what I mentioned at the beginning, and we are there now. Most counties operate multiple senior tax programs at the same time. The Senior Homestead Exemption is a different form from the Senior Assessment Freeze, which is different from the Circuit Breaker Credit, which is different from the Standard Homestead Exemption available to any homeowner regardless of age. These programs exist side by side in the same county office with different eligibility rules, different deadlines, and different forms. When a senior finds the exemption and submits the wrong form, the county does not redirect it. They do not call. The application is processed exactly as submitted, denied, and closed. You receive a letter weeks later saying you did not qualify, but you actually did. You filed the wrong form. That is the first trap. Here is the second, and this is the specific section I mentioned earlier. Most states offering this exemption have a household income limit. In Illinois, it is $65,000 per year. In New York City, it is $58,390. In Florida, the additional senior exemption requires income below $36,000 per year. When a senior submits the application without including proof of income, the application is automatically denied, not reviewed, and not returned for correction. Denied, closed, one missing document, one automatic rejection, one more year of overpaying. Here is what most people in Carol's situation do not realize until someone explains it. In Illinois, if you were eligible for the senior assessment freeze in previous years and never applied, you can submit retroactive applications for up to 3 prior tax years. Carol was eligible starting in 2021. She applied in 2024. That is a 3-year window. The county processed all 3 retroactive applications. This is the closest thing to money already owed to you within the property tax system. It requires no new investment, no financial product, and no attorney. It is a form, and in states that allow it, the refund or credit is already waiting. Ready? Step 1. Confirm your eligibility. Most states require age 65 or older, ownership of a primary residence, and in many cases, a household income below a set limit. Check your specific state's rules before submitting anything. Step 2. Find the correct form by going directly to your county assessor's official government website. Search your county name plus Senior Homestead Exemption Application 2026. Do not use a third-party website. Step 3. Gather your documents before opening the form. Proof of age, such as a driver's license or birth certificate. Proof of ownership, such as your deed or most recent mortgage statement. Proof of income if your state has an income limit, such as your prior year tax return or Social Security award letter. Attach all of them when you submit. Step 4. Find your county's specific 2026 deadline today and write it down. Search your county name plus property tax exemption deadline 2026. Step 5. Submit to your county.